Hi, this is Ben Laing from Ben's Business Book Club, and in this video I'm just going to answer a question that Rachel Cooper from the Business Book Club asked, and I'm just going to share it with everyone rather than sending this directly. So the first question was, or the questions were, what do you do with all the information you've collected in these books, and has your business grown as a result? So these are great questions, and as the philosopher Voltaire once said, "Judge a man by his questions, not his answers." That's a sexist quote. Judge a man or a woman by their questions, not their answers. But that's old school for you. And also, there's Tony Robbins who once said that a quality life comes from asking quality questions, and that's exactly what you're going to get from that, Rachel. Asking good questions, and you get good answers usually. So hopefully I can do that. So first I'll answer the first part of the question, which is, what do you do with all the information that you've collected in these books? And the first one is, I'll just show you because I've got some props ready for this video. First thing is, when I'm going through a book, I usually speed read. So I read roughly, I think it's about 200 times faster than what I would be doing if I didn't do this. So one way I do speed reading is with this thing here. It's just a normal bookmarker, but I made sure that it's pure black, and what I do is I put it under each line and read under each line with using that as the marker, and it really helps me speed read and read a wee bit faster than I would, because what I done was I timed myself reading one page without that, and I timed myself reading another page or another few pages with that, and what you find is you read a lot faster. So that's the first thing I do, is make sure that you're reading fast. Always use a dictionary and speed read, and if there's a chapter that just doesn't match what you're wanting to get from this book, then just skip it, go on to the next one. That's what speed reading is really just looking at the headlines and just seeing if that's going to be worth reading. Even if you come back to it later, but what you can do is just kind of go through books. You don't have to read the whole book. So that's what Tim Ferriss calls the art of unfinishing. Just, if the book's not any good, then don't finish it, move on to the next book. But the other thing is obviously bookmarks. If you find some golden nugget in a book, the really valuable information, that's what I go through all these books for, to gather all these really good bits of wisdom or information that will improve my skills on something, and make sure that I learn that particular part. All the other information can be a bit overloading, so that's why I try and skip parts and just try and find the hidden gems inside books. But you have to go through the books to find that. Otherwise, you're relying on other people buying their online courses and their books and things like that. What you're better doing is reading other people's books, going through the process of what I'm telling you. It's just gold mining for the golden nuggets, like Tai Lopez says, I'm sure. So that's one way. I bookmark anything, and you can even colour code it so that this one means finance, this one means ideas for your business, this one means video ideas or content ideas, and so on. So you can do it in that way, or you can just bookmark each wee bit. One way of doing it is, I've got this book here, so you'll see this is the ones that I would bookmark a whole page, go to the top. But if there's a wee specific paragraph that's really good, it saves me reading that whole page, and I just go right to that point on the bookmark on the side. So that's another tip for you on using bookmarks. Another tip for using bookmarks. The other thing is my journal. So if it's really good, it'll go in here. I'm sure it was Jim Rohn that said it. He says, "Why paying so much for a empty book with blank pages?" The reason I pay so much for these types of books is because it's got numbers on them, and it means I can add a table of contents. And he finished off his quote by saying, because he plans to put something valuable in it, and that's exactly what I'm doing with this. You can see I've colour coded things like I was mentioning, and each of the colour coding's all done here. So you can colour code things in finance, business ideas, quotes, books that people have recommended to you, blog and video ideas, finance again, family and personal. And so that's how I kind of organise all this information that goes in, so it doesn't go in one ear and out the other. it goes through there, processes through my brain, and then I get the most important stuff down onto there, keep them on bookmarks, put them back up on my shelf. So that's why I prefer physical books. It means that you can you're finished reading a book, it goes back into your bookshelf. I even have this organised in a way that I understand as well. So that's how I keep all the information. I use audiobooks as well to speed up my reading process. It doesn't really matter what kind of tool you use. You can use books, you can use audiobooks, you can watch documentaries. I find watching videos helpful as well as reading. I actually find reading quite hard because I'm dyslexic, so it's just a kind of hurdle that I've got to get through, and the more I read, the better I get at it. Like I mentioned in a post that I put on my business book club earlier, the more you read, the faster you get, and the better you get at reading and taking in that information. So that's three ways of kind of keeping that information, is using bookmarks. Even in your book or your audiobooks, you can bookmark in Audible. I know that anyway. Save things to your favourites on Google Chrome if you read a good article. Keep that and gather it all up. Keep it all in a safe, secure place like a journal, and make sure it's all written down into here. And what I've done is I've built up a number of journals over time, and I get information not just from books, like I'm saying, even conferences and things that I go to. The valuable information goes into here once I've really thought through what the person was telling me or teaching me. Then it will go into here, but it doesn't go in here unless it's really good. So what I'm long term doing with these journals is I'm also taking all this information, putting it into my own version, and I'm writing a book. So one day, all these journals, I've got maybe 10 of them now, that are actually organised. I've got thousands of notebooks, but they weren't organised. So until I started doing this process of having a table of contents, numbered pages, bookmarks, colour-coded to the specific category, that's when everything was actually organised. So I've only really got 10 organised journals with valuable information. So that's my system on the first question. I'll just answer the next question. So the other part of the question was, has your business grown as a result? And a question back to you on that question, because it's a really good question, and there's a lot to that question, but first it's what is your goal from reading, and if your only goal is just to improve your goals, then that's fine. It should be, the books that you read should be aligning with your goals. It's another thing I just posted, and just asking people the question of, are your reading list, or is your reading list aligning with your goals? And if they're not, then change your reading list into what you actually need to improve on. So I measure my life in health, wealth, love and happiness, and that's like, if you have all them balanced out, then you can have a good life. But obviously there's always one slacking, so that's the one you want to focus on. So if it's wealth, focus on that, and that's the one thing I'm focusing on to get more wealth, and that's my focus. It depends what your focus is. If you're reading to improve certain skills that will then lead to growing your business, and growing your business will grow your wealth. And if that's your strategy, just kind of ask yourself the question, what is your goal from reading first, and work your way backwards from that, the end goal of what you want from it all. And reading's just one tool, like I said. Also, yes, the answer is yes to your question. Has my business grown as a result? I've got a couple of businesses. I've got my web design business, I've got my Amazon business where I'm selling physical products on Amazon.com, and that's the main business that I've noticed a big growth in from reading all these books and gathering all this information up. What's happened, like one example, I read books as well to get ideas. That's another way of getting more ideas into my mind, and it's not even just that person's idea from that book. It can be someone's story that then I get really creative after reading. So when I'm reading, that's when most of my ideas pop up into my mind, and I put it into my journals, and then I'll make sure I get that idea down into business ideas. If it's a business idea, or if it's a finance idea, it'll go into the finance section. So that's how, another way I use reading is makes me really creative, and it makes me really think about things. So I read 1 hour every morning at least, and I'm really disappointed if in one of my days if I miss that 1 hour in the morning. So I try and get up early before everyone else is up, 5 in the morning, get that hour in of reading so it's done, out the way in a way. I don't read for enjoyment, like I've probably said that a few times before, but I read for the knowledge, information that will help me when I'm taking action, all that, what that information is going to bring to my life. So there's many different things that you can get from reading. You get the ideas, you're building your skills, so the more skills you have, the more value you can bring to people, the more like better service. You're also you can build like your leadership skills if you've got a team, help your team motivate your team better. There's a lot of benefits, and I would say one of the main points that I read on top of growing my businesses, which it does help hugely, is becoming a better person overall, like health, wealth, love and happiness. Like make sure all 4 of them are as high as they can. I give them like a number 1 out of 10, and if one's like, if they're not all, I don't think you can have a perfect life and have all of them at like a number 10 out of 10. There's always going to be one, so that's the one you always want to be trying to improve. Like I said, it creates, makes me more creative, improves my vocabulary, and I think through that it makes my communication better, and it gets me more confident to do things like this on video, and do talks. So that's my own goals. It has helped grow my business hugely, but on top of that there's so many more benefits from reading. So I just think getting that habit of reading 1 hour a day, making sure you're reading the right books, that's the whole point I made this Ben's Business Book Club Facebook group, because I was wanting to make sure I'm reading the right books and not wasting my time gathering all this information, overloading my brain with information. That's one of the reasons I don't watch the news or read the newspaper that too often, because you can get overloaded with information. So I try and just focus on my own craft and read the books that are going to improve, take me closer to my own goals. But it's really up to you, like what is your goal. Make sure you understand that fully yourself before you continue reading the books that might not actually help you towards that. So I hope you found this helpful. Last thing I wanted to mention was, like, if you've got any ideas of like helping answering these questions as well to help Rachel, please leave them in the comments section. And also I'll just mention I think that what I'm working on is I'm now doing coaching for Amazon sellers. But I just wanted to mention, if you go to amazongoldrush.com, and there's a coaching page there, and you'll see some packages for what I'm doing with the coaching on Amazon. So if you go there, have a look and see how I can help you. If you're not an Amazon seller yourself, I can offer coaching on marketing, search engine optimization and WordPress helping. I've got a full-time web developer who works for me, and he can help you on the WordPress side of things, but I help with the marketing. That's really what I do on Amazon. I just do the marketing, and I help customers understand how to get their products distributed out to as many places as possible, not just on Amazon. So search engine optimization is my main focus, and that's how we get websites and even product listings on Amazon and on Google higher up the search results. So when someone searches a keyword, they get found for the keyword of their profession. So for example, I live in a place called North Berwick, so if a restaurant came to me and wanted to show up for restaurants in North Berwick, I could help them do that with a service, or I can teach them how to do that. And that's basically what my coaching is, and I do it through Skype or TeamViewer, so I can log in and see your screen and help you actually explain things. So it's almost like I'm there. So just check that out. That's on amazongoldrush.com. You'll see my coaching packages, and if it's not Amazon, like I'm saying, if it is Amazon, let me know, but you can contact me through there. Thanks for watching.